You know, there are some stories that just stick with you through the years. Those classic tales where the underdog takes on the giant. Today, we're diving into one of the best, The Lion and the Clever Rabbit. It's a fantastic story about how true strength, well, it isn't always what you think it is.
So let's set the scene. Picture this beautiful, lush forest. It should have been a paradise, right? But it wasn't. A dark shadow hung over everything, because this forest had a king, a powerful, ferocious lion. And his rule was built on one thing: pure terror. His hunger was endless, and every single creature lived in constant fear.
Now, the real heart of the problem, the thing that made life a nightmare, was the lion's terrible decree. This wasn't just the circle of life. Oh no. This was tyranny, plain and simple. The lion's will was the only law, and that law was absolutely terrifying.
To stop the lion from just randomly rampaging through the forest, the animals made an absolutely unthinkable deal, a grim pact. Every day, just one animal would have to go to the lion's den and sacrifice itself. Just think about that, living every single day knowing it might be your turn. It's a guaranteed death sentence hanging over the entire community.
And you can just feel the complete desperation in this, can't you? It was this horrible, heartbreaking calculation. Sacrifice one of us to save the rest. This wasn't some clever strategy. It was the last resort of a community that saw no other way out.
But you know how these stories go. Even when things seem their absolute darkest, a hero can pop up where you least expect them. The days of terror dragged on until one day, the lot fell to one of the smallest creatures in the forest. It was a rabbit's turn to face the king.
A rabbit? I mean, come on, small, quick, but in a fight against a lion, hopelessly outmatched. For all the other animals, this was just another sad day, another life lost to the tyrant. They just saw a helpless victim whose fate was already sealed.
But this is the moment where the whole story pivots. The rabbit knew fighting was pointless, and running was just delaying the inevitable. But then, a totally different question started to form in its mind. What if brute strength isn't the answer here? What if a really, really clever idea could be a weapon more powerful than any tooth or claw?
So the rabbit cooks up this plan, and honestly, it's a masterclass in psychology. Step 1, show up late. This is guaranteed to make the arrogant, starving lion absolutely furious. Step 2, make up a story. But not just any old excuse. A story designed specifically to jab the lion right in his pride. And step 3, the genius part. Use the lion's own explosive rage as the weapon that brings him down.
Okay, so the plan is in motion. The rabbit starts its journey to the lion's den, but it's taken its sweet time. This is it. This is the moment where brilliant deception goes head-to-head with pure arrogance, and the fate of the entire forest, it's all resting on this one little rabbit.
The rabbit plays it perfectly, arriving way later than it was supposed to. And, just as planned, the lion is a walking storm of hunger and rage. His roars are shaking the trees. The tension is just crackling in the air as this tiny rabbit finally appears before the king. Putting on its best "I'm terrified" act, the rabbit bows and starts spinning this incredible story. "I'm so sorry I'm late," he says, "but I was stopped by another lion, a bigger, stronger lion, who said that he was the true king of the forest." It was the perfect bait, a direct challenge to the lion's massive ego.
And the lion, he swallows it hook, line, and sinker. The hunger is totally forgotten. All he feels now is pure, wounded pride. The idea that there could be a rival in his forest, unthinkable. His arrogance is so huge he doesn't even for a second think it might be a trick.
And just like that, the trap is set. The final act is about to begin. The rabbit has the lion exactly where he wants him, completely blinded by rage, not thinking straight, and eagerly following his smallest subject to what he thinks will be a glorious battle.
So the rabbit leads the fuming lion, not to another den, but to a deep stone well. "He's down there, Your Majesty," the rabbit whispers, pointing into the dark water, "hiding in his little fortress." The final piece of the trap is now in place. The lion stomps right to the edge and peers in, and staring right back at him is the angry face of another lion, his own reflection. He lets out this massive, challenging roar, and from the bottom of the well, an equally loud roar, his echo answers back. Well, that's all the proof he needed. Completely consumed by rage, he leaps into the well to attack the imposter. And in that one single foolish leap, it was all over. The lion's greatest strengths, his power, his fury, were turned against him. and became his downfall. The tyrant was gone, and for the forest, a whole new era of peace was about to begin.
With a final splash echoing up from the well, the lion's reign of terror was officially over. Not with a huge battle, but with a simple, clever trick. The rabbit went back to the other animals, not as a meal, but as a hero. The forest, at long last, was free.
So, what's the big lesson here? It's as true today as it ever was. Real power, the kind that can actually topple tyrants and solve impossible problems, it's not about how strong you are. It's about what's going on up here. Wisdom, courage, and a bit of clever thinking will almost always win against brute force.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. This story is just such a great reminder of what our minds are capable of. So, think about it. When was a time in your life when a clever idea, not just raw effort, helped you conquer a challenge that seemed impossible?